You're out filming and you're juggling your camera, adjusting your settings, trying to set up your shots, and inevitably you miss the shot. You miss the moment, or you're fumbling with gear, fighting the ND filters. It's too bright and you're screwing it on. You get your shot, then you walk indoors into a building or somewhere, and now it's too dark and now you have to unscrew your filter again, or you're swapping around plates on your camera to be able to use your camera on the gimbal, and then once you have that shot, now you need to get your hands free again to set up for the next shot. You have to switch that mount plate out again. By the time you're ready, the lighting's changed, the moment's passed, or the animal that you were filming is long gone by now. I've been there and it's the worst. Today I've got 5 filmmaking tools for you that have completely changed my workflow, helping me to be able to shoot faster, work smarter, and actually focus on being creative. So if you're a solo filmmaker or content creator, these might just be the things for you to improve your workflow efficiency. These 5 tools, let's get into it. So the first up is this little guy right here. This is the DJI Raven Eye transmission system, and it kind of looks like a spaceship, but this is something that you can use to hook up to your gimbal to be able to use those functions like active tracking and controlling your camera settings and everything, and the gimbal from the Ronin app on your phone. If you've ever struggled with filming yourself solo, you know how tough it is to stay in focus, frame up shots, and not look like you're awkwardly walking in and out of frame every 30 seconds. And here's where the DJI Raven Eye comes in. It turns your gimbal into a camera operator, tracking you as you move. You can see a live preview on your phone, so if you're ever second guessing your framing, you can just adjust that. It works insanely well for cinematic walking shots, product B-roll, or just keeping your shots dynamic without needing a second shooter. Totally solo. If you're shooting YouTube content, travel vlogs, or even client work, this is an absolute game changer for solo filmmaking. I went out to test this riding my bike, and it did surprisingly well while I was riding in and out of trees. It's great for hands-free gimbal operation, but you can also use it mounted up by itself onto your camera without the gimbal, and be able to control your camera straight from the app, just like you would with you having this hooked up to your gimbal. So if you're a solo creator, this is a must-have, and it's only $150 compared to DJI's newer transmission system, which is way bulkier to use, while this little guy is super compact and fits in the palm of your hand. Like, for $150 being able to film yourself solo, this is what I would get. Next up is what every filmmaker needs in their bag, an ND filter. If you've been learning about your camera settings and you want to keep that natural motion blur in your videos, you'll need to use the 180-degree shutter rule. But when you go outside, it's now way too bright when you've got your settings set. You need something that will cut that bright light out so you can keep your natural motion blur without cranking up your shutter speed or changing your frame rate, and that's where ND filters come in. I like to use variable ND filters, so depending on how bright it is, you can adjust it to get the right exposure while having your shutter speed set. My aperture is set, shutter speed set. Now all I need to do is adjust the brightness getting into the lens. Now I've switched to the Polar Pro Helix Maglock system, and I just put the base plate on all of my lenses so I can switch quickly between lenses and filters without threading and unthreading filters anymore. Just put it on, take it off, on, off, on, off. Super simple, seamlessly fits between all of my different lenses. Now, why is an ND filter a must-have? If you're shooting in the middle of the day with a crispy 2.8 or f1.8 aperture and getting that buttery B-roll, your footage is probably going to be blown out. This PLV-ND lets you control exposure without touching the shutter speed, keeping that smooth, natural motion blur for cinematic shots. Instead of messing with ISO or stepping down your aperture, you just twist the filter and boom, perfect exposure in seconds. Now, where would you use this? You're vlogging outside, shooting B-roll, or whatever it is, even filming interviews with natural light. And this makes sure that you don't sacrifice quality just because the sun's out. Then when you need to film back inside, you can just pop it off, easily take it off or put it on, and you're good to go. These little tabs here on the sides allow you to easily pop the covers on and off, as well as switching it onto your camera. And these covers are durable metal, so no worries about throwing this around in your camera bag. It might ding up the outside, but your filter inside is protected very well. No plastic covers, no forgetting your covers. All right, this one changed my mind on camera mounting plates when I first got the Peak Design capture clip. Ever been in a spot where you're hiking and traveling or just shooting and you need to put your camera down for a second? You don't want to dig through your bag every time. Unzip it, put your camera away, then you see another shot and you get to pull your camera back out. This lets you clip your camera onto your backpack strap, belt, or harness so it's always within reach. If you're filming on the go and you need to swap between handheld to using your hands again, just put your camera onto this clip and your hands free. You're hiking to a location, you need your hands free, but you don't want your camera bouncing around your neck on a camera strap, just put it in this clip. Or you're at a wedding, shooting an event or something, and you need quick access to your second camera. This will allow you to quickly switch between cameras. It's sturdy, quick to use, and it just makes life easier whether you're doing videography or photography. And it's so good that I bought another one. I'll have links to all these in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. Now, I grabbed another one of these so I can stick it on each of my cameras, and that way I don't have to mess with any other mounting plates or anything. So basically all you will do is loosen these thumb screws until you can get this part here will rotate open. You'll loosen these up if you need to go any wider to get this onto a strap or your backpack strap, your belt, or whatever you're putting this on. Close it back over that and then tighten your thumb screws down. Make sure you get them nice and snug. Your camera mount will just slip in right from the top, and then it's gonna latch with this little button here. Let me know if you want to see another video on this capture clip on ways you can use it, and I'll be sure to make another video for you. Now let's talk about gimbals for a second here. If you've ever used a Ronin, any of the Ronin gimbals, I have the RSC2, you know the pain. You have your camera perfectly balanced, but then you want to switch to handheld, and suddenly you're unscrewing plates, and then you need to use another gimbal shot. So you're switching plates again, rebalancing. That's why I picked up this small rig quick release plate. This replaces the plate that comes with the gimbal, and I'll show you why. Because you can't mount the capture clip on there. When you've got this on all of your cameras and you want to switch your camera out to the gimbal, you've got to remove this plate. You've got to use this taller mount plate. This capture clip doesn't fit in here with your camera on there. It's going to hit the lever. But switching to this small rig plate allows me to use the Peak Design capture clip or any other Arca Swiss plates on the gimbal. You can just slip them in here or just set your camera on there. You can switch easily between your capture clip to the gimbal, pop it off, back to the tripod, back to whatever other mount, other handheld, back to your gimbal, all in seconds. So if you're shooting a mix of cinematic B-roll stuff, run and gun shots, or moving between handheld shots and gimbal shots, this is a huge time saver. So just replace the original plate on the gimbal right here with the tall mount on it, and you're gonna switch that out for the small rig quick release plate. Then you're just gonna go ahead and balance your camera with this on here. Put your camera in here, tighten up this knob here in the back. It also has a safety switch down here on the bottom that you can just flip that over. With that switch flipped, your camera won't slide off of the plate. Flip that little switch under there, unscrew the top, pop your camera off, and you're good to go. All right, the last one here, I actually just picked this one up, but if you want to get creative shots, this might be for you. This is the newer 6-inch suction cup mount, and this will allow you to set your camera up and film in your car, film outside your car, get some creative angles that you need to mount your camera to a window or anywhere else you have a smooth surface. Set this up, and you're going to maybe apply a little bit of pressure. Until you don't see that little white line anymore. Then you can go ahead and mount your camera up here. You can mount this on car hoods, windows, doors to get moving shots. You can put it on any glass or smooth surfaces for creative angles without using a tripod. Not only for car shots, this actually is sticking pretty well to the desk here. But it also has this adjustment here. You can rotate it around, get all your fine-tune adjustments in there. So for car content, travel videos, unique perspectives, this thing unlocks a whole new level of creativity. I honestly just got this and I'm excited to try it out. I've seen so many cool ways to use it. These two tabs here, release this section, mount it to a new place. Then you can stick your ball head mount onto here. Now you've got a place for your camera. You can rotate all of the things on your ball head. So there you have it, 5 filmmaking tools that instantly improve your workflow and creativity. These aren't just random gadgets. They're carefully thought out accessories to save you time, eliminate frustrations, integrating your tools to work seamlessly together and help you focus on actually telling your story. Let me know in the comments which one of these would be the biggest game changer for you, or if you'd like to see another video going deeper on any of these accessories here that I showed you in this video. Let me know. I'll have all the links if you want to check them out down in the description below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and if you're looking for more tips on how to use your camera, I'll see you in this video next. So then when you're done with the suction cup mount, you can pop your ball head mount off of there, switch that to your mini tripod, and then set your camera up on this.